They heard that our friend Eric Holder has resigned as top cop. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Holder resigned today, but he will be sticking around until they can find a replacement for him. But as soon as that's done, Eric Holder will no longer be our top cop. Some say it's been long coming. Some say it wasn't soon enough. All depends on how you feel about the job that he's done. Some say he's done a great job. Some say not quite that good. He resigns in a lot of controversy. You go back and listen to some of his words, as I did today. A lot of racial stuff. I mean, that's what he was all about, And he went out big with what happened with that boy being shot, and what happened in Ferguson, and getting involved. And it's just one wonders what his agenda was all about. And I don't think history will judge him. Well, history will judge him for sure, but not in the light I think he's looking for. From the gun passing in Fast and Furious, right on up to him saying, well, he had nothing to do with harassing journalists, and we know it's all untrue. So I guess he did follow in the footsteps of our president and this administration. He did the bidding of the president, and they were very good friends. So another one parting that's maybe not so bittersweet, more sweet, a lot more sweet. So a day for not resignations, I guess. One's retiring, the other one is resigning. But we knew this was coming. It was just a matter of time. In fact, he's the first top cop to stay on as long as he has. He's been in the office for six years now, a little over 6 years as Attorney General of the United States. So, as I'll end this one with a couple of words that were stated by some in Congress and in law enforcement. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out, but thanks for your service. So there you have it. Eric Holder resigning. Maybe we'll get now with the change, and that's what I was talking about earlier when I mentioned the things we have to talk about and some good stuff. I got a good feeling about what's coming up in about 6 weeks from now, 4 to 6 weeks from now. The midterm election. The stats are showing that it looks like the Dems are going to get their asses whipped come November 4th. I'm hoping and praying that is the case. The way it looks, all the incumbents are not doing well, ladies and gentlemen. So people are listening. They have awoken. The sleeping giant sleeps no more. The people have had enough of what's going on. They're going to box in this president. We'll end up taking the House and the Senate in this election. Again, with my fingers crossed. Bob Steele, good evening. Good to see you. Sorry, I just had to say that. Yeah, he did. That's why he stayed 6 years. Ernie Abbott says, you heard Obama did not try to talk Holder out of it. Well, they talked over the summer from what I understand, and they had their words, I'm sure. That's why Eric was there. Eric Holder was in this office for 6 years. Who else was he going to put in that was going to do everything the president wanted him to do, no matter what it looked like? Now he's got to find somebody else to fill out the next 2 years, and we'll see what happens. But I think they're going to have, and this will be done, I predict, before the election, because if the Republicans take the Senate, it's going to be hard pressed to get a confirmation. So look for a lot of bashing of the Republicans again come the next 6 weeks, because and that's just the way it works in Washington. So Other than that, let's see. Let's go there. Yeah. We don't do this often, but because we really don't have occasion to. But it looks like the president did step up after his debacle in Afghanistan and pulling out the troops and not leaving any behind. And causing this vacuum that ISIS has filled. For those of you who don't know, ISIS is a terrorist group beheading people, killing people by the hundreds, if not the thousands. I heard today, I don't know how true it is because I haven't had time to check the story, that they've killed another 600 or 700 people with gas. So I'm not sure. They used those weapons of that I think they got from Assad, if I'm not mistaken, they picked up in Syria. Although I can't say much about it because I really haven't followed. I heard it, a snippet earlier that they've now used chemical weapons somewhere in Syria or Iraq. So there you have it. Now you know why it's so important that we take the lead in this thing. They keep talking about this coalition. I started this by saying that the president finally has made a move. He's finally done something. He did get Arab and other states like Jordan together to send. They sent some planes. In fact, I think he may have. They really put it up ISIS's ass because the leader of the foreign sector of this mission, of this bombing, was a woman. And not only was she a woman, she's a Muslim woman. In fact, one of the news reporters dubbed her Lady Liberty. She led the sorties in the bombing campaign that started a couple of days ago. So she was right there up front, putting them bombs right up ISIS's ass, and it's a female. And females in the Muslim world, in the radical Muslim world anyway, aren't even allowed to drive. They're lucky if they're allowed to speak on their own. So she's out there putting bombs right up ISIS's ass. So not only are we getting them with bombs, but we are philosophically kicking them in the balls as well. So I like that. I like that a lot. But this is something that this president has created, and it's getting really bad. Now, I keep hearing that, no boots on the ground, no boots on the ground. First of all, I'm tired of this president and this administration telling our enemies what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. Why? I don't understand why you must do that. Why he feels that he must tell them, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, we're not going to do that, just to satisfy political allies. It makes no sense, and it diminishes our position, just like it diminishes us all over the world when you apologize to the world for being one of the greatest nations on the planet. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You picture China, Russia, or an ass like that kid in North Korea, whatever his name is, can't even remember his name anymore. If they had the power that the Americans have had, what would they have done with it? Anyway, just sit back and think about that for a minute. What would they do with the power? Would they be as gracious as we have been? Would they have been as generous as we have been in our history? Have we made mistakes? You bet we've made mistakes. Of course we made mistakes. Some intentional, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But I'll tell you this. Whenever there's a catastrophe, who's the first one on the scene with aid and help and planes in the air and helicopters in the air and lifting people off of mountains? It's us. And when something goes wrong in the world, we're usually the first ones there because we can handle it. We've got the people that know how to get things done and get it done the right way. That's why this argument about no boots on the ground. Well, we got boobs in the air. Why don't we have boots on the ground? Why not? They're talking about, getting this coalition together. It's going to take a year to train this one and a year to train that one and a year and a half to do this. By that time, this group is going to grow and things are going to happen. We've got to level these people and we've got to kill them. And that's it. We've got to kill them and we've got to do it. Because it's going to happen anyway. Excuse me. Because the only way to end this is to put people on the ground to follow up behind these raids, behind the bombings. That's how it's done. Yeah, it's great that we're making these bombing trips and we're doing these sorties, which is what they're called. They're called sorties, and bombing strategical places in Syria and Iraq, but it's not enough. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough to seal the deal. It's not going to be enough to annihilate this group and stop the killing and the murdering and the beheading and the raping. It's not going to be enough. And who else is going to do it? Nobody else can do it. They can train the Saudi troops all they want. They'll never be able to go in and do what we can go in and do. Now look, I don't want to get involved in another war either. Nobody does. Nobody wants to go to war. Nobody ever wants to go to war. War is a dirty, disgusting business. It's a monstrous business, war. And it's dirty, it's filthy, and it's dehumanizing. That's what war is. But if you don't step up to the plate to do the right thing, it will continue and it will spread this evil, this plague on humanity. It will continue to exist and thrive. And that's not what we're about. So because our president didn't do what he was supposed to do a year ago with these attacks with the planes and the bombs, now this group has grown to a point where Al-Qaeda can't keep up with these people. These people are worse than Al-Qaeda. So you didn't do what you had to do, and this is what it's going to cost us. And if you think about it and you listen, how ironic is it that now this president sounds so much like George W. Bush in the way that he's speaking at the UN and the things that he's saying now, and how evil this is, and how, if you listen to the speech that he made at the UN yesterday, I think it was. Try and compare. I've seen the comparison. It's like stunning, really, in the style in which he speaks now, and it's just amazing. Here's a guy who for 6 years has been bashing Bush. Now he sounds just like him, and he's got to revert to what the last president did anyway. You pulled everything out. You did what you wanted to do, and what happened? It didn't work. Like your theology, it doesn't work. The things you want to do for this country aren't working. None of it works. And all the pacificity in the world, and all the pullbacks in the world, and all the drawbacks don't help. They don't help. They've never helped. In every single thing that you guys have done, and I'm talking to the administration here, nothing has worked, really. Nothing. They keep touting that, we created over 10 million jobs. And yeah, Yeah, okay. You created 10 million jobs. 9,999,000 of them were in the government.